Today's video is sponsored by Black Gold Compost Company. I want to thank the good people over at Black Gold for the generous donation of all this beautiful black cow manure that we use in our video today, and it's made a tremendous success in our garden. I've been using black cow for many years, ever since 1980, and it's always made a tremendous difference in my garden, and I've been very pleased with our product. I highly recommend it. Thank you, Black Gold, for sponsoring our channel. Well, good morning, friends. We're finally starting to come out of wintertime, and what that means is it's time for sweet potatoes. And today we're going to grow a new variety I haven't grown before. I thought you'd like to check it out with me. They're a purple sweet potato. The inside of them are just purple as they could be. So we'll be right back after the break and get into some detail. See you in a minute. Well, welcome back, friends. This is the purple sweet potato that we started growing back in December, and this is February the 18th, so down here in Florida it's actually starting to get warm already, but the temperatures are above 45 degrees or right around 50 degrees at night, and that's about the time you want to consider planting these outside because they just love it being hot. So be very careful not to plant these premature and they get a frost on them, because one frost on these and they're gone. So be patient and wait until you get into those upper temperatures at night before you plant them. These are beautiful. These slips are growing great. I wanted to show them to you. I bought these potatoes online. I believe I got them at Etsy, E-T-S-Y. If you want to buy some sweet potatoes, go online and Google up sweet potatoes, and you'll get a whole bunch of different kinds of sweet potatoes to choose from. Order the sweet potato and put it in a jar of water and let it sit for a couple of months until you can get the slips. And that's what we've done here. These slips are looking pretty good. If you look at the water, you can see that water is still real clear. I had a couple of them that the water started getting cloudy, and what that means is that potato's not making it. You see potatoes starting to rot, and when that happens, then you know, you want to get them out of that, and changing the water won't help. Once it goes cloudy like that, it's shot. So you want to be sure to plant extra. I planted several of these jars to ensure that I had enough that survived it to where I could get my slips. So let me show you what I'm looking for on these slips. I take it out and look at that beautiful root ball. I got a nice root ball here, see? And I'm looking for the slips on the side that started out below the water line. That's the ones I want. And they just pop right off the side of the potato. Kind of careful with them. Get them right off the side. And you want the ones, like, see, here's one right here. It doesn't have any roots. It's growing above the water line. So if I pop it off, I could take that and put it in a jar of water and let it sit in the water, and it would sprout roots, but I just don't have time to wait for it. All you do is you just take another glass of water and you stick that right in there and give it a couple of weeks and you'll get some roots on it. You have to have roots to plant these. Now, here's what I got off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to divide that carefully, best I can. That's a nice root ball, and that's a nice root ball, see? And I'll put these in a little bucket of water, and we'll go over there and we'll get these in our containers. We're going to plant these in 45-gallon containers a day. So let me get the rest of these pulled off, and we'll go over there and plant them. Now, if you're curious about the process, a little more detail about how I started these slips, go check out our channel. We've got a video on there, you know, on how to grow sweet potatoes in containers, and it's very detailed, very comprehensive, step-by-step tutorial on how to do these. Nancy will put a link to that video, up on this video, so you can help you to find it. Go check out that video and get a little more detail about this. I'm going to go ahead and get these off, and we'll head over to the planting table, and we'll put them in the bucket. So. Okay, I've got my slips over here. I got them in a jar of water, and to keep them nice and fresh. I got my soil all made up. This is the soil mixture that I use on all of my containers. If you take a look on our channel, we've got a video on how to make your own container mix at home, and that's exactly what this right here is. And what I've done with this is I've added a very heavy dose of bone meal in this when I was mixing it together. I put a whole bag of bone meal in this 45-gallon container when I mixed the soil up. So it's all blended in there with it, down all the way down to the bottom. Now when I plant it, I'm going to add in some blood meal as well in the hole with the slips, because I want to give it a little bit of a boost of nitrogen to help that little slip get some traction. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to wet this soil and pre-moisten this soil and get it where it's good and wet, so it's going to give those roots a little bit of a chance of survival, because they're used to sitting in water all the time, remember? So coming out here and going into the soil like this is going to be quite a root shock to them. So let's get this wetted down and get them started. Okay, I got the soil pre-moistened, and at this point what I want to do is I want to dig a hole with my hand. I want to get it kind of deep, because those roots, I want them to go down as far as they can. So I usually put it just about my whole hand length, all right? And when I got that in, I take a handful of the blood meal and I put that right in that little hole. And then I get me a nice beautiful slip. See that root system? I want to get it all the way down in there as good as I can, and even bury the stem up in there a little bit more if I can. See? And then I cover that up. I'll let the slip kind of hang out. Remember, these potatoes, sweet potatoes, they want to run on the ground. So normally if you plant this in the ground, these would run along and they would sprout new roots at these leaf nodes here, and they would keep making potatoes all the way down the line. Being that we're doing them in containers, that I don't even care about the vines touching the ground. They're going to be hanging out of the pot and all over the place, because really I'm only going after the roots that are the potatoes that are coming off of these roots. So I'm going to make another hole right here, add some blood meal, put in another slip, there's two. About three of these in each one of this container is going to be a plenty. And these make massive root systems which is what's going to make the potatoes. So don't overcrowd them. 3 in that container, it looks like that'll be just about right. Okay. Okay, I got both containers planted. I actually went ahead and put a couple of extra in each one, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 in each one now, simply because the container is so huge that I had such beautiful slips. I wanted to take advantage of them. So let's hope for the best. I think I got plenty of square footage and cubic feet of volume underneath each one of these in a 45-gallon tub here, so we're going to just get a whole pile of these things. So I got them installed. This is February I think it's the 18th. So we'll watch these in the days ahead. These take a long time and they like the hot temperatures, so they grow best when it's above 85 degrees, and it's going to need anywhere from 90 to 120 days for these to come up to where we can harvest. So we'll progress this all the way through this summer until we finally get to harvest them. So we'll be back in the days ahead as soon as these take root and get established and get going. Word of advice on these plants now: these slips are delicate right at first. They're going through a lot of root shock. You want to come out and check on these 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day. I got them watered in real heavy at first. If I come out and I see a little bit of droop on them, I'm going to lightly water them again to revive them and cool them off until they can get going. Then once they get going, the heat don't bother them at all, but you want to keep the soil moist but not saturated. So we'll be taking care of these, and we'll share that with you all the way through. See you soon. Well, our purple sweet potatoes have been out here for about 4 weeks now. They've been getting some good warm temperatures for the last week and a half or so, last 10 days. Been in the upper 80s here in Florida, so they love that heat. So these slips, when we put them in, have exploded, and we couldn't be happier. So we'll be watching the progress of these all summer, all the way up until we dump these buckets out and see how them beautiful purple sweet potatoes look. So we'll be back. I guess we'll check back with you in about another 3 or 4 weeks and look at the difference out of them at that stage as well. We'll be back soon. Well, our purple sweet potatoes are exploding. Remember, we only planted these slips, I think it's been 5 weeks now. They've only been out here for 5 weeks, and as you can see, they are really putting it on. So we'll be back in the days ahead, and we'll watch these continue to grow. I'll be back. Let's give it probably another 6 weeks or so. I want to let these vines get on out, cascade out of these 45-gallon containers. I want to let them get up to where I'm starting to see the blooms on there. That'll be the next stage I'm looking for. So we'll be back soon. I couldn't be happy with our purple sweet potatoes. See you soon.
Enjoy, girls. Be gone in no time. Okay, girls.
Well, it's been 180 days since we started our purple sweet potatoes. I let them grow a little longer this year because we've had an awful lot of rain. So I haven't even watered these in the last 2 months. So we've been letting them grow, and we got the tops cleaned off, got the chickens fed.
Oh yeah.
They liked their little treat of the sweet potato leaves, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they loved it.
And by the way, you can eat the leaves. We know. Well, Nancy cooks it in a little fish soup sometimes. Tastes sort of like spinach to me. She gets the little tender green leaves on the top and snips them off and cooks them. But today the chickens got a little treat because they wanted some greens. Anyway, we got the tops cut off. We got the buckets ready to dump out, and let's get this show on the road and see how many purple taters we got out of here. Are you ready?
Ready.
Let's roll, girl.
We're not gonna do the bumps like we did before.
No. Here we go.
All right. Oops. Ooh.
Watch out.
Okay.
All right, let's get this one off. Ooh, got a lot of roots. That's a good sign.
Yeah, that's a lot of roots.
All right, Cletus. Let's start ripping them open, see what we get. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're just going to spread these out, and we're going to lightly rinse them. A lot of times I don't even wash the dirt off at all, you know, but I just wanted to rinse these off a little bit so you could see how how pretty they are. But we got them out here in the wash table. We're going to rinse them off, and we're going to let them dry off for about 4 or 5 hours, and then we'll take them inside and put them in the tater tower and let them cure for about a week. And after about a week, they'll sweeten up real sweet, and we'll eat these. These go all the way through purple, all the way through the skin, all the way through the meat. So we'll cook up a couple and let you take a look at them. So let's get these cleaned up just a little bit. And we saved all these little skinny little roots like this. We saved these, and Nancy chops these up, and she cooks them with butter and garlic and sautés them together, and then we eat that with some fried eggs and
honey too.
And so she puts honey on it. That's right. You got a little video on how you do that called tater candy.
Yeah.
Well, that's what she's talking about when you hear us talk about tater candy. It's one of our favorite breakfast treats. But anyway, why don't you rinse these off, honey, and we'll get ready to get these in the pantry.
Look how pretty they are.
Oh, they're definitely purple.
But nice sweet potato. I mean, and it's all organic and it's healthy. It's got so many health benefits too.
Yeah, anytime you see something purple, it's always good for you.
Sweet potato bites.
Well, except for a purple people eater, because he'll eat you. Purple vegetables are usually very nutritious, very healthy for you.
Yeah.
A lot of health benefits.
Yeah.
But you can see how colorful that is. That's a pretty little sweet potato. And we'll let these dry off out here. Don't get them too wet, just lightly.
Yeah, I just want to turn it over to the other side.
Yeah,
So,
it's probably good enough. I don't want to scratch up the skins.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. That's all right.
All right, we'll be back in about 5 hours and we'll get these over into the pantry. See you in about 5 hours. Well, our purple sweet potatoes, they've been out here about 4 hours now. They're good and dry, and skin feels good. Smell pretty good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the potatoes up. I'm gonna separate the big ones from the little ones, and we'll take them over and put them in the outdoor pantry in our tater tower and let these things cure for about a week to 10 days, and then we'll cook some. So let me get these separated. Okay, we're over here in the 4-week pantry, and this is our tater tower. I've got the drawers loaded up and ready to put into long-term storage, let these things cure. This tray right here is, got a lot of the big sweet potatoes in it. We're gonna let these cure out, sweeten up, and I got a couple of more trays here. Some more big ones right here and some medium-sized ones, and then a bunch of these little stringy ones, which we use for tater candy, like I was talking about earlier. So we got 3 good drawers full. I think we're going to be pretty happy with these. Nancy and her mama walk around eating these things like candy. Well, that ought to hold them. So we'll be back here in a week or two, and we'll pull some of these out of here and we'll take them in the house, and Nancy will cook these up. I think she's gonna do them in the air fryer. So she'll cook these up, and we'll open them up and let you see how pretty the inside of them are. They're purple through and through. So we'll be back in a couple weeks. Nancy cooked these in the air fryer, which makes it pretty easy because it don't smoke up the house.
But you can put it in the oven or anywhere you.
Look at that beauty. You got a fork over there, babe? Kind of hot. Can't touch them. Thanks.
Wow.
Ain't that pretty?
Yeah.
Look how purple that is.
You want a piece of butter, handsome?
Yeah. Let's put some butter on that rascal. Isn't that nice? There we go. Yes. As you can see, it is real purple. Well, there we go. I'm gonna take a little taste test.
Sweet enough? Just sweet as you are?
Nothing's as sweet as I am, except for maybe Bing Bing.
That is sweet. That is so good and creamy.
Pretty good. It's something different, you know, if you have company over and you pull out a purple sweet potato, people can go, what in the world was that thing? And they take a bite, they'll know. So anyway, we had fun growing these things, and it might be something you want to grow in your garden this spring. So keep those purple sweet potatoes in mind. So we hope you liked our video. I hope it brought some peace to you and you had a fun time watching it and gave you a little happiness today. So until me and Nancy see you next time, we want to thank the Lord for these pretty sweet potatoes. By his hands, we're fed. Give us, Lord, our daily bread. Amen.
Have a blessed day. Enjoy. Oh, this is so good. Wow.